Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to see you, but we better get right to it because I've got a big story from our big book of stories. Belle Takes Charge. Belle never tired of the Beast's marvelous library. It was her favorite room in the whole castle. She knew that she could find any book her heart desired there. Reaching the books could be a bit tricky, though. The shelves rose all the way to the ceiling. Even with the library ladder, Belle still couldn't reach the higher shelves. One day, the Beast saw her struggling and offered to get a book she wanted. "Oh, thank you," Belle exclaimed. "It's that large history book. Can you reach it for me?" The Beast climbed up. He had almost reached the book when suddenly he heard a sharp crack. The Beast was too heavy for the ladder. It broke apart. Thump! He landed on the floor. "Are you all right?" Belle asked as she knelt by his side. The Beast grumbled. The splintered ladder was useless now. "It's okay," Belle told him. "We can build a new one." "No, we cannot," the Beast snapped. He knew his hands were too big and clumsy to handle most tools. "Just leave it," he muttered, storming off. But Belle wasn't used to leaving things broken. Her father was an inventor, and she was sure she could figure out a way to build a new ladder. She turned to Chip. "How would you like to help me surprise the Beast with a ladder that's good as new?" The teacup grinned. "I'd like that a lot. Where do we start?" "Right here," Belle winked. She pulled a big book about woodworking off a shelf. "With so many books, I'll bet we can learn to fix a lot of things." According to the book, Belle and Chip needed lumber, a saw, a hammer, and some nails to build a ladder. Luckily, there was plenty of wood and a box full of tools in the barn. Belle changed into a work dress. With Chip's help, she measured and sawed and nailed until she had built a ladder that was even sturdier and taller than the last one. "Just wait till the Beast sees this," Belle exclaimed. "You made that?" the Beast asked when Belle showed everyone the ladder. He was surprised, but he still seemed a little grumpy. "C'est magnifique," exclaimed the candelabra Lumiere. "Yes, it's excellent craftsmanship," Cogsworth the mantel clock declared. Mrs. Potts the teapot hopped forward. "I don't suppose you know how to fix a leaky faucet, too?" she asked Belle. "The one in the kitchen has a terrible drip." "Ah, but yes," said Lumiere, brightening. "There is also the fireplace. Her chimney makes so much smoke." "Ahem!" Cogsworth jumped forward. "May I remind you that the service bell in the butler's pantry hasn't worked for a month. I think we can all agree that Belle should repair that first." The Beast frowned. "Don't be silly," he huffed. "She's not a blacksmith or a plumber or a chimney sweep." Belle just smiled and led her friends back to the library. "I have a feeling that with the right book, we can fix anything," she said. To Cogsworth's delight, Belle went to the pantry first. The clock watched eagerly as she examined the broken bell on the wall. A cord that ran up to the Beast's room was attached to it. If he needed something, he could ring, but the bell seemed to be stuck. Belle found a home repair book that had a section on fixing hinges and read the instructions. "Why, it just needs to be oiled," she said. She poured a few drops of oil on the bell. Then she gave it a tap. Ding-a-ling! The bell rang. Cogsworth jumped up and down. "Fantastic!" he exclaimed. "It's as good as new." Next came the chimney. According to the book Belle found, the smokestack needed to be swept clean, but that meant climbing out onto the roof. "Be careful, Belle," Lumiere called to her. "Don't worry," she told her friends. "I'm doing everything by the book." She used the brush to sweep the chimney until she had removed every bit of soot. Once the chimney was clean, Belle went to fix the leaky faucet. She opened the repair book to the chapter on plumbing. "It says we should tighten the pipe with a wrench," she explained. Belle twisted the wrench as hard as she could, but the joint wouldn't budge. She sighed. Suddenly the Beast spoke up. Maybe I should try?" "Of course," Belle smiled gratefully. With one mighty twist, the Beast fixed the leak. "Look at that," said Mrs. Potts. You two stop the drip. To celebrate, Mrs. Potts made tea. Lumiere proposed a toast. To Belle, he said. And books, Chip added. Hip, hip, hooray, Cogsworth cheered. Belle grinned. I knew we'd find all our answers in the library, she told her friends. You were absolutely right, the Beast said, patting Belle's hand. You were able to fix everything, just like you said. Thank you. Belle went to bed that night feeling very proud and very tired. Just as she was about to blow out her candle, she heard a light tap on her door. It was Chip. Hello, Belle said, surprised. Why aren't you in bed? I couldn't sleep, Chip said. My music box stopped working. I always listen to it before bed. Can you fix it? Of course, Belle smiled. But first she would have to find the right book. They tiptoed to the library and searched for a book that described how to fix music boxes. They looked and looked. I'm sorry, Chip, Belle said at last. It doesn't look like there is one. Does that mean you can't fix it? Chip sniffled. No, Belle said. I'm sure we'll figure something out, just not tonight. That made Chip feel a little better. But how will I go to sleep now? He asked. Belle smiled. I think I can find another book to help you. They went back to the library, and Belle chose a storybook. Then she settled into a comfy chair with Chip in her lap. She opened the cover and began to read softly. Once upon a time, in a faraway land. Soon, Chip's eyelids were drooping. Belle quietly closed the book and carried him back to his cupboard. She had been right. There was nothing a book and a friend couldn't fix. It was lovely seeing you. See you soon.